too. Yeah, that's very interesting.
It might just be a clue where to do more research and how do we do it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I mean, even stuff like and entheogens, psychedelic substances and stuff like this might also be a connecting thing here. Is this anything that you've looked at?
I haven't had the chance to try it. I have done a lot of deep meditation, and I do believe that a lot of my clear thoughts and reasoning comes from some higher source, whether it be my mind linking up with the tree of knowledge, so to speak, whether it be just that my mind is clear at the time and I'm just working it out. I'd like to think I'm getting it from somewhere because I'm not really a scholar. This is the whole problem here. I'm Joe Average who walks the street that just has an inspiring mind, and I've just dedicated, with now, 18 years of my life researching.
Yeah.
And but looking at it fresh from ground zero, not looking at history as written in stone. And this is the thing. I mean, if you take all of written history, they're taking it from accounts that others wrote about that are hundreds and thousands, maybe in some cases thousands of years old.
Yeah.
And for example, this king slaughtered that tribe, and they were the victors. I mean, we use propaganda today, even with advanced cameras that can show that things are different, and we claim victory when we didn't. Imagine in history how often they claimed victory when they didn't really win.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the thing. So, we read about all these things. It's kind of got to be taken a little bit more generally.
Yeah.
Especially when they speak of these people that came from the sky and that sort of thing. We can only get clues, and if these things keep coming up all over the world, that they all say the same thing, all refer to people that fly and people that come down from the sky, we've got to look at the statistical value of it. And this is where I put in the science of statistics against these historical facts, started using logic and reasoning and making a little bit more possible sense out of something that would just be thrown aside and said, oh, this is religious mumbo-jumbo, don't touch that,
Yeah.
That's the stuff that I look for because that's all the clues are.
Exactly. And I also wanted to ask you, because as you say, you dedicated, what did you say, about 17 years to this?
Yeah, it's about 18, 19 even. Time is flying. As I'm doing interviews, I'm so used to saying 17 years.
My God, yeah.
Towards about 19 years now, yeah.
But I mean, obviously, you're dedicated to spreading this information on what you have found here, and it's always interesting, I think, to kind of get your, hear your motivation for this. I mean, why do you think it is so important to have that we have this information?
If I could just say this right now, I'm a very spiritual person, and I usually use the word religion because I started off being a Christian. I was actually born Roman Catholic, but I didn't like some of the things about the Catholic Church, having to do this and that, and hearing how in the Roman times, how they took money from poor people just to say that they would be, their sins would be forgiven. All those things sort of sit strong in my heart as being injustices. And I went out looking for the meaning of creation over 20 years ago and got into the research at the same time. And the two and two kind of must fit, surely. So I want to know where God fits in all this, and what were these visitors, what did they say about God? What were their sacred teachings? And that is amazing. What they were trying to teach us, and we killed most of them, Christ included. He was a teacher. We murdered him. They were trying to teach us about this place of the center of the universe, the tree of life and knowledge, and what is going to happen to us afterwards. And I must say that a lot of this information is going to be available soon. There's a lot of people like me researching this, and I'm pretty sure we're all going to say the same thing. My next book is going to touch on the basis of that spiritual material, trying to prove the essence of the soul, and where it leads to is what I think is a collective of all religion, a collective of all spiritual, call it research, and all neutrino research, all these strange exotic particles we have in the universe, and what could they mean and what could they do, and let people decide for themselves what looks the most likely scenario behind the core of the universe, the nucleus of the universe, the Big Bang, the place where it all came from.
Yeah.
And let people decide for themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. And
it's going.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, and also I can ask you because I read here that your book at first was it denied publication at first?
Absolutely. I had it being passed around from one university to the next. it was a 2-year period of getting emails from people all over the world saying, we're working on this theory of yours, and where did you get this, where did you get that? And here I am waiting just to have some kind of control over it so I could get a book deal and just do the normal thing.
Yeah.
And realizing that it is open house now, everybody's digging into it and trying to nitpick at it, and I haven't even printed it. So I put it onto a local TV channel in South Africa called Carte Blanche. There's a link on my website. People can see the transcript even. It was very controversial because they were showing the images and said, this is what it's saying. They got an astronomer to comment on the star patterns, and I tell you what, the astronomer was such a down-to-earth, kind person. He said, look, I'm going to have to just say what I see here, and what I see here is this is not just a coincidence. This is too detailed, too intricate. It's 1 billion to 1 chance against the odds of this repeating itself, being so accurate.
Yeah.
And you know what? That astronomer has been blacklisted as far as his work projects go. He was actually taking photographic images through the observatories in South Africa of these southern constellations, and letting magazines have them all over the world, all the astronomy magazines. They went back and said to him, you know what, we can't take you seriously. You're dealing with aliens. We don't want your photography. How about that?
Very, very suspicious. I mean, so again, I mean, someone. Either people are, rejecting it because of, as you say, just that they, I guess, consider it to be so far-fetched or something, or either it actually someone knows what's going on here and very, consciously is trying to prevent you from getting this information out there.
I think it's the best way to define it is to call it official denial. Scholars believe that it's their territory. How dare I go and ripple the water? It's their terrain, it's their domain. We will not take you seriously, so we won't even look at it. And we've had quite a few instances in one documentary we're trying to make, just to get a comment. They can say negative things. Go ahead and just try and show fault. They won't even do that. And that tells me there's something more to it. There's something so obvious about it that they risk even being ridiculed by saying that it's wrong. So they just the simple way out is, no comment. And this is a year later after we did the TV program. Nobody is prepared to do a full analysis on it.
All right. So, I mean, we got about, 5 minutes here in this segment, and later on, I really would like to get into stuff like speak more about NASA and even stuff about Mars and of course the Orion connection to the latest their patch that they got going there and so forth. But I mean, tell us a little bit more, about your book and also in the last few minutes here how we can get it and so forth.
Yeah, well, we're still struggling to get into all the bookstores because we did a self-publishing contract with investors. A whole lot of people came together that were seeing the good in this. Just put the money in. We printed 20,000 books, and we went to a distributor. Now the bookstores say, "What publisher is this?" And they self-published against a book on this kind of topic. They kind of step back and say, So we kind of just getting into Amazon. We're getting into some of the more popular esoteric bookstores, but the real bookstores will come once we get academia just to comment on it. So it can be bought. It's you'll see on my website I've got all kinds of countries all over the world, all linked that have them. But the general average bookstore still is not getting it stocked at the moment.
Okay, yeah, and so the easiest way, I guess, to get the book at this time is to basically go to thehiddenrecords.com and order it, correct?
Well, there's all the links. I'm trying to make it as easy as possible, and believe me, just to keep them alive. There's some society out there that is stopping me, trying to delete me. I've had my book deleted in about 4 or 5 different occasions with the book data listing. That's the whole, where you list your ISBN number of your book. I keep disappearing off the data. Bookstores see me, the next minute there's nothing there, and they say, well, the guy's gone bust, he's gone,
Yeah.
There's somebody out there that doesn't want this.
And do you think that it could be because, potentially I guess what, I haven't read the book yet, but do you discuss all of these different kinds of topics in your book and kind of connect them all? So is it, kind of very wide ranged?
Well, you know what's amazing? It's a very simple sort of grand conclusion that this is who we are and where we come from. This is what we come from, perhaps somewhere else. We come from the stars.
Yeah.
But what somebody somebody has written, I did a radio show in Minneapolis in the U.S., and somebody wrote in and said, look, this, no wonder you're getting stopped, and this is what some other researcher has shown, why and who might be wanting to stop me.
Yeah.
We got quite involved with this, and I now have people advising me what to say, because it's very, very dangerous, very sensitive to say the right thing here. And my official comment will be, and people can click the little gold icon on my webpage and let them make up their own minds. My official comment is, it's probably just coincidence.
I wanted to ask you regarding a little bit about the Freemasons, and we're not out to to bash anyone here. We just want to know that what they know, because this is very interesting information here. But let's talk more about that later on, okay? But I'd like to just we got about 2 minutes left. I just would like to ask you briefly about the Nebra disc. Was this was this found in Germany, correct?
Yeah. It's actually the little holy grail of Germany. They've got this little round plate. It's got gold leaf star constellation. It's got a crescent. It's got what looks like a round sun.
Yeah.
And I've debated the meaning. I've also got the picture shown on my website. If you just click on the Nebra disc, it seems to be an Orion with Pleiades connection there, and that the crescent seems to be celebrating a world in connection with the star that is so important to near the Pleiades.
Yeah.
So obviously it's my interpretation.
Very interesting, and I mean, I want to thank you for this segment, Wayne, and we're going to continue now in the subscribers section, but we'll take a short break, and we will be right back. Okay, if you want to hear more, just click on that subscriber button and sign up with redicecreations.com. Myself and Wayne will continue our discussion, and we'll go into a lot of interesting things about NASA and Freemasonry, so tune into that. And of course, in our subscriber archive we have a lot of other interviews with Jim Mars, Jay Widener, Philip D. Collins, Freeman, Alan Watt, Jay Cutsey, Webster Tarpley, Michael Horn, and Andrew Collins, and many, many more, just waiting for you right there. So do check out the new subscribers section. We need your support. This Sunday we have Alan Watt back with us on the program. We're proud to say that he's going to be a regular on the show, and he's going to be on with us the last Sunday of every month, so heads up on that one. Thanks to everyone out there for listening. Also a big thanks to my producer and technician Fredrik Palmgren for his tireless work on getting all things together for the opening of the new site. Also, this would have not been possible without the work of my friend Johannes, who has been helping me get all things together with the D-Base stuff for the new website. So thank you, Johannes. I hope you all tune in again this Sunday. This is Henrik Palmgren signing off. Take care. We'll talk soon.